taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. And you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got heart, I'm ready to change. Scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, 'cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
you are not as tough as
Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me.
Hello and welcome to FPL Agony, here to make fantasy football less like hell. It's Gameweek 20. We have an unexpected upgrade to our double game week, and it's given us a lot to think about. And here to talk you through what should be some quite easy decisions are two of fantasy football's finest experts ever. He's the chairman of the Veghorst fan club. It is Scott. Good evening, Scott.
How you doing? All right. The chairman, you know.
He's the chairman, exactly.
Yeah,
you are the chairman. Good. Yeah, excellent. And also joining us, he is, he is debonair. He is classy. He is one of the finest footballers ever to grace the Premier League, apart from Drogba. It is David. Good evening, David.
Oh, wait, man. How you doing, man?
Oh, let's take him off. Hello to Signore. Welcome to the show.
That's a downgrade. I never looked so good.
We have the David Ginola picture on standby, just in case Signore's internet connection fails again like last time. As FPL Posty, I think, pointed out, his silhouette when he disappears looks like Ginola. So there we go. Shout out to FPL Penguin. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Lovely to see you. Do get involved in the chat tonight if you've got any questions and if any stuff you want to know. Ask away and we'll do our best to answer your questions.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask Signore because he's got Cresswell on his team still. Cool. I feel like I've gone back to FPL 2020. There we go. It's there. Well done. Anyway, we've got a fair bit to talk about. It's going to be a shorter show this evening, just because it's a work night. But we're still going to have fun. We're still going to be talking about the upcoming fixtures, and we're still going to pick apart Signore's team, mainly because it's so easy. So let's talk about the points from this week, how we did in game week 19. I'll get your thoughts in a minute, lads. But Scott, 53 so far. Signore 31 and I got 44. So Scott is currently the winner this week, although we still have one more fixture to go on Thursday when Chelsea will inevitably lose to Fulham. So hopefully you've all got Mitrovic as captain. You did, didn't you, Scott?
I did indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we was all ready to get burnt. I think we all knew he was going to get a booking, but you want to be part of that collectively. So when we can all chat on here, we can all get upset together.
Exactly.
So that was the real reason for captaining him.
Absolutely, 100%. And Signore, you captain Mitrovic?
No, he's not even in my. I'll tell you what, though, I bet he's not in Pep's team either. I bet Pep told him, you get booked, don't play the second game because I need the points in my team. He's got that much control.
Exactly. Old Pep is very powerful in FPL circles. He gets what he wants. He drives us mad with Pep Roulette, but I reckon he's got an anonymous account. He's top of the league. It might even go under the name...
Pep's league.
I reckon he might go under the name of Liam Enkfist, to be honest, because Liam is currently top of the FPL Agony League, doing incredibly well on 1,171 points. That moves Ted, who was top last time, or joint top last time, into second place. But Gaz, FPL Arrows, has climbed up the table. He's now up to 6. Not many points behind. He's 15 points behind the top place. So you never know, Gaz. If you're watching, you might be top of the league next week. That'd be quite something. Something to celebrate. But I do want to start just by... I think we should give Signore a massive round of applause because he's finally joined the 1,000 club. See, that's everyone clapping at home. Well done, mate. How's it feel?
It would feel great if I had more than 31 points.
Well, that's where we stand at the moment, but you never know. You might. Have you got any? Is anyone playing on Thursday night for you, John?
Yeah, I've got Kepa.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I feel like me and Scott have changed places. I've turned into Jack D. And Scott's a bit more cheerful now. He's like the Russell Howard, like just.
Shout out to Jack D, who's obviously not watching tonight.
Well, if it's any consolation, Signore, you are beating him on the FPL Agony quizzes that we've done the last few. You are actually killing it on that, so don't you worry. You do well on the quiz, on our little online quizzes, but not this, unfortunately. Anyway, we've got a few people joining us. Shout out to Jim. So we've got a question already, which let's just do it now. Why not? For the people who have Jesus on their team, who do you put on for him this weekend?
Oh, who wants to answer that first?
So I'm just thinking,
because he shouldn't be in your teams. He's been injured for the last 3 game weeks. Obviously, he got injured.
Who is in a similar price? Because presumably, if you've probably got not much in the bank.
He's now 7.9, so you would have dropped value in him as well. Trying to think someone that might be 8 million, 7.5. I mean, we can talk about the betting man, but I'm not too sure whether that's the right punt for the week. I don't think that's the right punt. Maybe to go down all the way to maybe a Martial for a 6.6, knowing they've got a double game week coming up, and then bank the cash potentially.
That's a decent shout. What do you reckon, Signore? Who would you pick?
Yeah, I think Martial is one individual I'm looking to target in the next game week, so it's a good shout.
I mean, if you've got a penchant for picking, injured players, you could put Jota on your team for an 8.8.
I mean, if you had the cash in the bank and go up to Kane, then that would be the ideal move. But obviously, no one's got 98 million. larking around their squad. So
There's
That's a lot
no
of Matty, though, isn't it?
there's no one stand out, is there really? I mean, Isaac's back on the scene a little bit now, right? But no,
he's not playing tonight though.
no, exactly. So that's a tricky one. But
In their
I
cup
think
game.
Martial's a decent shout. I think. Thank you, Jim, for that question. That early question. That was a good one. Actually, gets you thinking because it's easier when you talk about midfielders. It's easy to think of people you can swap, but when you cut to your strikers, that is a tricky one indeed. Let's talk about what's happening in the news because Scott's been showing some news stories in our little group chat. So let's talk about this because I know, Signore, you've got some opinions on Belgium. The Belgian Federation has launched a job offer on LinkedIn to become the head coach of the national
Every time you say it,
team.
I just can't.
I
This
mean,
is amazing.
I mean, this is the same national team. National team. We're not talking about Barnet Grove. Like, this is the same national team that put Roberto Martinez as their head coach for all those years in the golden generation. I mean, I'm sorry.
They got third in the World Cup.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm speechless on that for once.
I mean,
even Lukaku can't believe it. Look.
Yeah, he's. It's quite wild, but you know, Martinez has gone on to do better things. I was reading. Do you know what? In run up to this, I was reading Martinez's Wikipedia page, and it talked about like how his methods at Swansea City, and when he left, they wanted coaches to sort of emulate his playing style. And it said that numerous managers have actually studied Martinez's playing style, including Graham Potter. So you're feeling pretty happy about that, Signore?
Well, give it 10 years, and Potter will be the head coach of Germany, and then it'll all be good, won't it?
Wow, learning from the best. Well, maybe we can avoid relegation this year, Signore. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Scott, are you going to apply for that job then? You said you were.
I mean, that was complete, past tense. I've already applied, yeah.
Oh, of course. Sorry, yeah.
Who's your referee, Scott?
Who's my referee?
Yeah.
KDB, my guy. He's not my guy because he's not in my team, but, he's still my guy. He might be my guy.
Mark Clattenburg. We also have another news story that Scott is delighted about. I don't understand why. Maybe, Scott, you can explain this one to me. But an exclusive. Manchester United have reached full verbal agreement to sign Wout Weghorst. Understood the deal will cost around €3 million to Besiktas. Weghorst will join on loan from Burnley. Final step needed. Besiktas will only approve the deal if they can find the right replacement. Why are you excited about this news, Scott?
Well, last year he come in all 6'7" of himself. And, the deal to take him to Burnley was incredible because they got 25 million from Newcastle, right? And then so I remember he had a double game week. I obviously fell for the trap. I captained him. And I think he fetched 6 points over 2 games, potentially 5 because he got a booking as well. And it was probably the worst decision ever. But again, you've got to be in it to win it. And this guy, look at him. What a lovely specimen of a person. Look at his lovely sleeve as well. Right? I'd recommend it to my tattoo artist if he wants to get the other sleeve done. It is absolutely fantastic, honestly. I absolutely love it.
You J-Lings in disguise.
I'm trying to zoom in.
We do not speak of him. We don't speak of that person, thank you. Look at him. This is incredible. It's like, have you heard, did you know this is like a transfer merry-go-round, by the way? So Ronaldo has been let go by Man United and he went to Saudi Arabia. So then the guy that they've got from Saudi Arabia, is it Abukar, who's now going to Besiktas to replace Weghorst, and Weghorst is ultimately replacing Ronaldo. I mean, could you imagine? WW7 on shirts everywhere. It's incredible. And names, by the way. I know his name, and I don't need to ask. Oh, I just seen that's gone into maximum zoom, by the way. I'm a bit late on that. Vert Weghorst. It's not Woot Weghorst. It's Vert Weghorst.
It looks like it
Thank
says
you very much.
Vout.
He's in. Triple captain this game week. Confirmed.
Well, I think that solidifies everyone's opinion that Scott is a very devout fan of Weghorst. Devout. Anyway, moving on. Tough crowd. So, there's the news stories this week. Let's talk about the game fixtures we've got coming up. 4 teams are on a double game week, and we'll talk about those fixtures. And we're going to talk about the fixtures that Scott and Signore are both really excited about. So, let's go through what's coming up in game week 20. We have Aston Villa versus Leeds, Man U versus Man City, which is one to really want to watch. Brighton versus Liverpool, Everton versus Southampton, Notts Forest versus Leicester, Wolves versus West Ham, good luck West Ham, Brentford versus Bournemouth, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, Newcastle v Fulham, Tottenham versus Arsenal, and then we got Crystal Palace versus Man U, Man City versus Tottenham. So that rounds up game week 20. Let's start with Scott. What fixtures are you looking forward to?
I mean, needless to say, isn't it? It's the Manchester derby. I mean, the last game when they played each other at the Etihad, what was it, 6-2, the final score? Haaland scoring a hat-trick, and I went for Salah, captain, and I think he barely got an assist in that game. So, yeah, I've missed out. Side note, I've missed out all of Haaland's hat-tricks as captain, by the way. So, yep, I'm looking forward to that one. And obviously the North London derby. It's as simple as that, really. I think there'll be some really good fixtures there, all part of the double game week. Yeah, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Excellent. And Signore, I can't wait for this. What are you looking forward to?
Mainly the Emmanuel Adebayor games, because there's a couple of them, and they're in a double game week. So you got Tottenham v Arsenal, and got Manchester City versus Tottenham. So yeah, I'm sure Adebayor will be glued to his TV this weekend.
Oh, very good.
Fantastic.
The Emmanuel Adebayor derby double bill. I can't wait. What's he doing now?
He's created a bit of an ambience.
Yeah, he's still very memorable. There's some fixtures that are slightly annoying for me. I'm looking at Newcastle versus Fulham, and who's someone who's enjoyed getting plenty of points from both teams this season. I'm a bit like, it's a bit of a pain, that fixture. There are a few fixtures like that. I'm always a bit wary of these Manchester derbies because it's going to be 1-1. I mean, it's got 1-1 written all over it. That's my prediction. And we're all going to be captaining Haaland, who's going to end up with 2 points because some randomer from Man City will score because Pep's done his roulette thing again. I mean, I'm just bracing myself for that nightmare. But yeah, it's good though. We have 4 teams with doubles, and I think that's quite an exciting thing. And if we have a look at our current teams, these are our current teams, so we haven't made any transfers yet, and we're going to talk about the moves that we are considering making to get ready for this double game week. And I'm going to start with Signore. I think we need to perform an autopsy on this. Scott's gone. Shall I replace him with Ginola?
Again, it'd be an upgrade, wouldn't it? So
there we go. I'm going to put Ginola right there. Right, so while Ginola's watching, let's talk about.
Hello, sorry.
Hello, David. Welcome back.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Où ça va?
Mo ça va.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, sorry. What's going on with my head today?
I don't know what's
I was thinking of Bakayo Saba, but okay.
Okay, very good. What has this show turned into? Right, as we were. Signore, you need help. You're going to play your wild card then?
No, I'm not being Jedi mind tricked by Scott again. I just think it's something I've got to roll with for a minute. I think I do need to take a hit this week. It's going to be a -4. Will I take the hit? I'm not quite sure. Because to be honest, Solanke to come in up front for Tony if he doesn't play, that's not the worst person to bring in. You know, but I do. It's not. You know, I've done worse.
Stop trying to convince yourself that it's okay, because it's not.
Look, let's be honest. I've done worse this season. You know, but if I'm looking at players to actually bring in, that's going to really help my team this week on a double game week. I have thought about Martial up front for Tony. I've thought about Mahrez coming in for Trossard, and I have to ride it out in defence and hope Pep plays Cancelo and West Ham finally keep a clean sheet and Cresswell gets that brace he's been promising me. So, you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at this team. So who are you transferring in again?
It could well be Martial and Mahrez. And I'm going to have to trust that Pep does not screw me over. Which, you know.
Oh, Mahrez, that's a risk, isn't it?
It is a risk, but he does score points, this guy, when he's on the
pitch. Yeah, but will he play? Because Pep does his weird thing.
He probably won't. I'll take a hit and he won't play for 2 games.
Oh, Scott, if you were Signore, what would you do? And you're not allowed to say play the wild card. Or triple captain Tony.
Listen, I've seen less flags when Ollie Watkins gets offside than seeing this team. Bloody hell. It's incredible. I would take a minus, to be honest. I think there's a lot that needs to be sorted there. How much money you got in the bank?
1.6.
Yeah, you could do some bits here, I think. I mean, you've got 4 flags. Trossard needs to go. I've been very active on social media and obviously on our YouTube short this week or last week to say that Trossard needs to go. What I've spoke about Mahrez as well, but Pep's quotes yesterday doesn't really fill me with joy that he's going to play both games. And when it comes, especially in your situation here, Signore, I think you need guaranteed starters. That's what you need. And I don't think you can get a guarantee for Mahrez.
There's only 2 for Pep, isn't there? There's only Haaland and there's only Anderson.
Absolutely.
That's it.
I mean, even Foden's done so well in the FA Cup. Doesn't mean he's going to play in the league again. You know?
No.
And, you know, KDB is fully rested. If I was making one free transfer and I was going for, if you say, I would do exactly what you're doing. I've looked at it. Mahrez for Trossard. Easy move. But if he doesn't play, or he starts one game and comes off the bench with 30 minutes left, it's all about you taking a punt. That is going to your rank is going to drop so much, and I think
But is it I would take a minus than bringing in. But is it a stronger move than bringing in someone else who's got a double game week like Zaha? Because he's a bit of a trap when it comes to things like this. And
no, I think you should bring in Zaha and bench boost him. Just him. That's all you need. No,
sabotage Scott is bad.
We all started as friends and now it's becoming a war.
Taking shots at the enemies.
Not just by song, but in nature as well.
I mean, the other thing is that I could try and improve my defence. I can roll it out with either Tony or Trossard, and I can try and improve my defence. So either upgrade Cresswell or one of those flags on the bench, either Patterson or Williams. That's the other angle that I could approach this at.
I mean, numbers are never really important in terms of like double game weeks. You don't need to have a set number of double game week players. But really, you've only got 2 double game week players here. You've got Haaland and you've got Rashford. So I think your situation is very, very tricky. Because in terms of, have you actually looked at a few like drafts with your -4 and stuff?
Yeah, a couple. I mean, I've looked at bringing in. I've looked at bringing in like a couple of Newcastle players, maybe even like someone like Rodrigo because he's been playing a lot more recently. They're on single game
and he's due a double
weeks,
game week soon. They're due one soon.
Right. You know, so do I plan ahead? Do I try and roll it out and stick with this? I mean, to be fair, is like near enough the whole FPL population going to be captain in Haaland?
Yes,
it's
I think
like
that's the boring
ridiculous
move.
not to
It's
captain.
the boring move, and I think you have to do it. I mean, there's been a lot of chat
Yeah.
in the community talking about triple captain, which, like, this isn't the best game to triple captain a player. I don't think their fixtures are not. Oh my god, this is like world beat. Do you remember last season we all triple captain Salah? His fixtures with Norwich
At the
and
right
Leeds.
time.
And I think he walked out with like a hat trick and an assist over the 2 games, and obviously maximum bonus points. So that worked out wonderfully. I would be a bit sceptical, triple captain Haaland in this set of fixtures. So I wouldn't do that myself. But I think you can't not captain him personally.
Do you know what I would do?
Go on.
I'd play a free hit.
Oh, that's brave. I wouldn't do that, but that's
I
brave.
would.
I wouldn't either.
I would.
I don't think there's much upside to a free hit with only 4 game weeks, double game weeks.
How many
4
game
teams, double
weeks are
game
we
week.
going to expect this season? In all honesty.
Well, that's where I keep my mouth quiet because I know where it's going to be.
Some people have knowledge. Oh, okay.
Some people just want it all. Some people have nothing at all.
You're chasing.
I
I think you're chasing positions up the league, mate. I think it's a really difficult one.
I think he's in there.
It's actually a fair
Pep.
shout. It's a fair shout what you're saying, Matt. I think I like it. It's different to go for a free hit. But what you got to look at is how many double game week players you want. Do you want 3 from all sides? And you've got a full team of 11 double game weekers? Or do you want some good single fixtures as well? Edison in goal could be a good double game week goalkeeper. De Gea would be a good double game week goalkeeper on a free hit.
The thing is, if we're looking at a starting 11 for Signore, it's not actually that bad as a starting 11.
I mean,
it doesn't take that
I keep
many
looking
transfers.
at my team and getting confused.
It doesn't take that many transfers to fix this on a normal game week. But it's not
A
good
minus
enough.
4 can
It's
fix
not.
this.
But it's not good enough for this double game week. I'd argue. There's not enough there. Please don't do
I think your
Mahrez.
boat
Don't
with
do
Shaw.
Mahrez.
I think your shout with Shaw's gone now. I think Shaw should have come in when Cresswell did. But instead of Luke, it was Aaron walking in to Signore HQ. That I think with the price rises now, Shaw's out of the question for you because the fixtures aren't great, are they? Do you know what I mean? I think I would look at the midfield personally. Have you considered taking Salah out?
Nah.
I think.
What was you thinking?
For
It's-
my own team?
Of this team, my team. Would you take Salah out?
Salah to
Yeah.
KDB is the move this week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the complicating factor for John is that we've got 2 players that aren't playing in the starting 11 and a terrible bench.
I mean, Trossard is unlikely to play, let alone he gets over his injury. I think he's out of favour now with the Brighton manager.
I think
Tony
you've
is
got to remember, like Salah has a decent record against Brighton.
We are talking about. I mean, you're not looking for defensive returns, are you? But I think Brighton are going to give him a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They gave
I
him
do.
a good
I
game.
think so.
They gave him a good game at Anfield. What was it, 3-3? That's when obviously our man Trossard scored a hat trick there. But I mean, I wouldn't touch the Arsenal midfielders. I think they're actually really good for this week. I think they're good for upcoming game weeks.
Yeah, I think they can expose Spurs massively as well. Them two.
It's really tricky, John. It's really, really tricky.
I just want to say to Thor Iron Man, because you're posting some stuff in the comments, we will get to you, I promise, but we really want to sort out John's team.
This is the biggest actual... And we haven't actually seen these teams, guys. Everyone watching at home, you're watching it on playback and whatnot. We haven't actually discussed any of these teams yet.
No.
Since we've been live. So this is a fresh approach to it.
Would you take a -8?
Oh no, that's too much.
Given
Could you
given
potentially see yourself...
given the
Go on,
team
Matt.
we've got here, It's hard.
Do you know the thing is, I done a madness like that a couple of seasons ago, and it really paid off. I took a -8, and it actually got me something like an extra 20 points in the end for the players that I brought in. So
I still think a -8 would be better off than a free hit this week.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well now.
There's no upside to a free hit
-8.
when you can save that.
But a -8 would change this quite a lot. This would change this quite a lot.
I could do a -8 and change my entire team as well.
You need Trossard gone, you need Tony gone, and I would say Salah to KDB. I think they're the...
Because Man City are chasing the league. They are chasing the league. They're, 5 points behind?
Yeah.
They need KDB to play every week.
They can't
afford... I know he's not winning form. They can't afford to not play him.
No.
Regardless of his returns or not. You're not going to see,
Would Gundogan be a good option, do you think? As a massive differential?
As a differential, yeah, it's a shout. For 7.3 million, I think it's a good option. But I think when he was at his peak 2 seasons ago, or was it 3 seasons ago, when he was 5 million or 5.4 million, and so many people in our work league had him. I think we spoke about this before.
Kevin De Bruyne was injured, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he's not playing in that same position now. He's a lot deeper.
This is just making me feel very blue at the minute. It's like watching Chelsea.
No, this is fascinating. We can fix this. If we can downgrade Salah to a cheap enough thing, and you can upgrade Tony to maybe Kane.
Ooh.
And
then is Kane worth a -4? That's what you got to put your. This is what I've looked at.
That can work. I've got to be honest. I know Kane got 16 points last week. I just don't trust Tottenham this season.
His scoring records against Arsenal and Manchester City both are absolutely fantastic, by the way. I don't know if anyone knows that.
They are. They're fantastic. They are. I'm denying that, but I don't know. I'm a little bit sceptical of Tottenham this year.
Where's Foden at? Where's Phil Foden at City?
Wouldn't. That's another one I wouldn't trust him.
He's playing left wing back in a minute, isn't he?
Left wing back on the bench. I wouldn't do it. I will do it. I would rather take a punt on Mahrez for 7.7 than take a punt on Foden for 8.2 or 3 or whatever he is. I mean, Pep's shown his colours with him. I think even if he scored midweek or whenever it was at the weekend, and Mahrez the same.
This is very difficult, but I think...
really tricky. This is genuine confusion, I think.
This is a moment of silence here.
Yeah.
We've never had this.
It's really interesting. I think we need to get Salah down to a kind of an 8 mil someone. I don't know. But we need to get Tony... we need to get Tony up to
Saka
Kane.
An option.
We need to get Tony up to Kane.
Midfield.
Thor Ironman asked... He doesn't know which Spurs player to get in for the team this game week. He's thinking Son. What do you think? I don't think Son at all.
It'll be a massive differential if he did do that. I wouldn't do that myself. I think there's only one Tottenham player you're going to bring in.
It's got to be Kane. I mean, I know there was articles on Højbjerg and things coming in, but not against these teams.
No.
The only one,
not for me.
The only one I would have is Kane on this game week. He's going to get any joy. Man alive! I think really it's got to be it's got to be a -8 if you want to get some points on the board. That's why I'm going to finish it. I would do Salah to a cheaper midfielder, Tony to Kane, and if you've got any change left, get rid of Trossard, and they would be the 3.
I could bring in someone like Almiron.
I think Liam has just sent a message into the chat, said no one has Almiron. I was going to say they're not due a double game week on.
I have Almiron on the bench, and I will probably bring him back
in for the starting lineup. 100%. Yeah, you've got to. For Andreas, I would say, is a straight swap
for Andreas or Mitrovic.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but it'll be. I will bring in Almiron. I'm not sure if I'd chase a double game week player.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking a -8, you need someone who's doing a double.
If you're going
to
take a
get those
-8, you're going to
points.
chase double game week players.
Yeah.
And also, Kane's fixtures are okay. What's putting me off of Kane is these 4 yellow cards. Again, like we had the same issue with Mitrovic. He's got.
He is, isn't he?
He's on.
That,
he's on 4 yellow cards.
Yet.
If he gets a booking in the first game, you're done.
Because he's
just like Mitrovic
after this first game, isn't he?
Yeah. He's clean after this game, and I mean he'll surely know that. It's not the point in that. I mean Mitrovic's yellow card wasn't really a yellow card in other fixtures, was it? Really? Let's be honest. It was a harsh yellow, and he would be all laughing here with another game with a captain tomorrow, on Thursday. Sorry, so. Yeah, fair enough. You've got Tony.
You'll be right. You've got Tony and Cresswell. You'll be absolutely fine. I think because I do want to move the show on, but I do think I'm thinking -8, and they are the 3. Swap out Salah, Tony, and Trossard, and I would for double game week players. I would take a -8 because it's a double game week, and that's what I would do. We've got another question that's come on before we look at Scott's team. Asking if we think Cancelo will play the double, or should they sell him or keep him? What do we think? We've all got Cancelo in our team. I mean, I'm not going to sell him because I've got other transfers I'd rather make right now. I think it's risky. I do think it's risky. Scott, thoughts on that?
My first and biggest bit of advice is to wait for the cup match to be played and see what his minutes are like. My plans involve him leaving my team on a -4. But can I expect my replacement to gain enough points to make up for that -4? I'm not so sure. That's what I'm worried about. And basically, my advice is wait for tomorrow, and you'll know. I think you'll know after tomorrow. You'll get that gut feeling. If he plays well. Pep, can he overlook him? Not too sure. If he doesn't play, then I think he is actually done as an option. Because he doesn't. It's not like he needs a rest. He's been resting. Wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. It's difficult. I mean, I think if he doesn't have a big role to play on this double game week, he's going to be the most transferred out defender.
He'll be dropping.
I'm telling you now what happened. Pep needed funds for his fantasy team. He got rid of Cancelo. He brought in Rico Lewis, and he's laughing, right? Because the kid's done all right, to be fair. And he's cheap.
Yeah, but are you going to would you make that move right now after the double game week? I would not make that move.
No.
Oh, of course not.
Because it's too risky. It's too risky. It's too risky. Yeah. So that's a great question. Thank you.
It's tricky. Scott, let's take a look at your team, if that's okay. So there's your current team from Gameweek 19. So
I won't spend 32 minutes talking about my team, don't worry.
No, but we want to help. We want to help Signore because it's a tricky situation. You know that Scott, you have personally made sure he's ended up in when you told him to put Tony and Cresswell in his team. Sabotage.
I did not say about Cresswell. I will not take no blame for Cresswell.
You will put them in your team.
The power of hypnosis. So I mean, it's pretty standard. I mean, you should be able to see it on the screen if you're watching at home. What transfers are you thinking of making this week?
Well, I said on Twitter I've got about £545. That was a lie. It's probably about 541. It's not that many. But most of them involves a -4, but I don't know if I'm going to execute until I know obviously more about tomorrow. I'm also waiting for any potential double game week 21 announcement before the deadline, before I fully commit. But one plan is what we spoke about with Signore and taking a punt on Mahrez for Trossard and rolling over free transfer because I've got 2 FTs. Or the other one is a -4, which is Cancelo down to Stones, Salah to KDB, and Darwin to Kane, and really capitalising on the double game weeks. Even though I've already got one in there in Cancelo, Cancelo, whatever. I'm not too sure whether he's going to play both. Stones is the most nailed defender of the centre backs at the moment. He can't put a foot wrong. Got 3 bonus points last week as well. I think he'll start both games. So that would immediately, if Cancelo is benched for one of the games, you're already kind of up on points, I suppose, in some ways, with at least him playing both games. There's another one I looked at where it could potentially be Darwin to Mbeumo with the Brentford situation. Realistically, will be the main striker now at the team, at the club. So I've looked at that. And then also KDB in for Trossard. And then Cancelo out for Stones again. But again, involves a -4, which means no Kane. Or there's just a simple, guaranteed Salah to KDB, roll the other free transfer, and if we get any more double game week 21 announcements after the deadline, use them for 21. I think the reason why I want KDB over Salah is I think, regardless, there is still an additional 2 fixtures that City have because of the 2 double game weeks. Plus, there is talk of a double game week 26, I believe, for City that come out today. So realistically, you could be getting additional 2 or 3 fixtures over Salah, regardless of his form. KDB turns up for the big fixtures. He really does. He turns up for the big games, and I think I'm going to have serious FOMO not having KDB this week. So all of my plans involved him regardless, I think, just because of the additional fixtures. And as I said, if I do find out Salah's got a double game week, I could ultimately just switch back to Salah for 21 because I'll have the money in the bank. And also, Salah, I'm sure, will drop in price before the deadline because a lot of people will be doing that move that we spoke about. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. So, 3 plans involving a -4 or 1 plan, straight 1 free transfer and
rolling.
Which we will show everyone's plans on the deadline.
It's all very serious this week, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
I know.
it's big. I think this is where I think this is the game week where everyone sets aside. It's your casuals. It's your top 10k normally people that are in that club, and I think this is where things change. And this is why there's a lot of pressure on it, and no one's gonna. Some people have gone really early, and I just think it's a bit silly to go that early and make transfers before all the full news, So yeah,
it's all very serious. It's the bit where you can really make a difference to the points you get. For me, I'm gonna take a -4. I don't do it often. I think I've ever done it once this season, taking the hit. So I'm going Salah KDB. That's the move I'm going to make. And I actually have enough money I've got Cucurella, because for that Chelsea double game week, which was for Chelsea was just completely pointless. So taking him out, and I could bring in Shaw.
That's a sure thing for me. I think I'll do that.
Yeah. I was thinking that one. Very good. Salah to KDB is an easy one. That's like definite. And I was just thinking I could make that move and I'll have 0.1 left in the bank. Yeah, I mean, that would take me up to what, 5? 1, I can't count, 2, 3, or 4. See, I think it might be 4.
Is that including Cancelo though? Because it's basically 3.5 then, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Oh, it's so difficult. Oh, this is horrible. What are we doing? And now we're getting some excellent questions. So let's start taking questions from our audience. Thank you very much for these.
Yeah.
Firstly, our first question: a must-have 3 players for the double game week. So let's just pick
any suggestions. Right.
Three players.
Rashford.
Haaland's a must, isn't he? Rashford's another.
Rashford,
and Shaw. And Shaw.
Sure.
because of that second fixture in a double game week for United looks really tasty actually. So Rashford, Shaw, and Haaland for me.
It's really only City and United players we've put into consideration, isn't it? Really, I mean, at Spurs, apart from Kane, that's tricky. It's tricky for them, and obviously Crystal Palace is just not featuring unless you want to sabotage Signore's team again, Scott. But yeah,
I'm remaining very quiet now.
Now we have a really interesting. So thank you for that. I think we've all agreed on those three players. Then thank you for that question. Now Liam's got a good question. Anyone considering triple captaining Haaland? It's now the time.
No, not yet.
No, we spoke about this at the start of the show, Liam. If you want to go back and have a little watch, I'd say do that. I just think the fixtures aren't like outstanding for City. If it was, Tottenham and Forest or Tottenham and Bournemouth, Tottenham and Southampton, no disrespect to those clubs. Tottenham and West Ham, I think even I'd do it, but I think there's enough.
Especially after he got a full rest against Chelsea in the cup, that would have been a decent move, maybe. But
that's true.
Not on these fixtures. True. Not at this time.
That's really true. Yeah. He didn't score against Chelsea, which is obviously a rarity for Haaland, isn't it? So I'm sure he'll be so up for it. I said last time I played Man United, he got a hat-trick, so...
As a general rule, I only play my triple captain when Scott does. So I could try and keep up. That's the rule. I'll wait for Scott to mention who he's going to play as triple captain or his free hit. And I go, oh, are you? And grab the phone.
Oh, that's so funny. Is that why you played him last year with Salah against
Norwich?
Yeah,
I did it because you said you were. And I was like, oh, are you? Took a few notes.
Oh, that's incredible. That's amazing.
That's the rule. That's the rule. Although this year, Scott's sabotaging other people's teams. He's playing a bit dirty this season, so I'm not sure we're going to stick to that rule. Tony.
Do you know what, Signore? I think you should triple captain Tony this week.
You shall triple captain Tony.
No, just swap Trossard with Solanke and then do bench boost. You're fine.
Seriously,
I think you're going to find that Forest beat Leicester 5-0.
No, it does crack me up when people play bench boost and they've got players injured on the bench. I mean, what's the point?
Oh, so weird.
Obviously, they're casuals, aren't they?
These dirty casuals.
Yeah. You was one of them at some point, Matty. So
yeah, I was. I mean, technically, I probably still am.
No, you're not. You're not so expert now, but
I'm nowhere near an expert. I just copy
I think this is the longest we've ever spent on our current teams and plans for the game week. I
mean, it's mainly because we have nothing else planned for the show.
That's all right by me. Yeah, Newcastle up 1-0. That's an interesting. Who scored, Liam?
Nice.
Find out, because if Almiron scored, who scored?
Let's have a look. I'll have a quick look.
Get it up on telly.
Hold this space. Yeah, CFAX would be quicker than this.
Page 301, wasn't it, for the football scores?
Why is the BBC's sport app so slow? It's still saying 0-0. What am I paying this TV license for?
Burn scored for Newcastle.
Right, okay. Liam on our YouTube chat is faster than the BBC.
And the fact that my stream on my TV is 50 seconds behind.
Yeah,
fascinating.
Exactly. Oh, my word. Right. I think that kind of draws us to the end of this show, I think. I mean, it's all very serious. We're at that stage now where things are tricky. We will get there somehow. Let me switch over to this main view. There we go. We're a massive view now. Look at that. Nice. Terrified of viewers. So, I think that's it. I just want to say a best of luck to everyone, but a particular best of luck to Signore.
Yeah, keep us updated with your plans.
Just give me some green arrows.
Let us know.
I need some Oliver Queens desperately. So
That's greens to
one
everyone
for the
at home,
DC
by the way,
fans.
just in case.
Wow. Right. Should we do the outro?
Oh yes,
I think we need to do it, and this means a lot more than most weeks, to be honest. And I've got it in my head. Don't worry, I'm not going to fail.
Oh, wait, hey man, during next time where we will be sharing more stress and anxieties.
And agony that make us love the pain of this game.
Thank you very much for joining us on today's show, as ever, and good luck to everyone. And may all of your arrows be green. Good night.